please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. This is a bit of an experiment. I'm trying something a little bit different. I want to try and make a shorter video, not a short video, like a short video is like 10 minutes long, right? Some people do 5. I currently can't get anything in, under 10 minutes. Me, I love you long time, baby. Love you long time. But my standard video, I try and put out one standard video, one short video a day. A standard video in my head is like 40 minutes because this is the way I use YouTube. I don't know about you. I normally put it on like talk radio while I'm doing other stuff, and I don't want to keep having to change stuff, right? I like to get a nice decent chunk out of it, right? So 40 minutes seems like the sweet spot, but it's kind of like floated into 50 minutes now. It's floating into an hour, so I'm really trying to make this one a little bit short. If I can get around the 30-minute mark, I'm going to be reasonably happy with it, right? If I get around the 20-minute mark, I'll be reasonably happy with it. So I'm only going over one article. Oh boy, it's a great one. It's gonna be what we're gonna have fun with. Listen, look, the bottom line is this. People don't like having egg on their face, right? And I really didn't know how much they didn't like it. What's wrong with being wrong, right? Like, who hasn't been wrong? And look, I'm a Bible thumping creations. I actually believe in the Old Testament. Like, I believe Moses was a real person, right? That's reasonably crazy, but that's what I believe. Now, in Jewish tradition, we're taught Moses is the greatest prophet of all time. Like, Moses is number one, right? He's our superstar, right? And there's no other prophet that's even in the same ballpark, right? Nothing's even close. And yet, in the Old Testament, they go to great pains to point out that Moses screwed up more than once, right? So Moses has made mistakes. And basically, all the heroes, all the people that are supposed to look up to, within the Old Testament, within the biblical narrative, are all fallible and have all made mistakes, right? And I think what we're supposed to learn out from that is it's not wrong to be wrong, right? It's not wrong to be wrong. Everybody's wrong at some point or another, and it's totally cool. What is wrong is not being able to deal with being wrong, and I think the reason they're so terrified about it is because the twats. People live on Twitter, and the worst thing they can imagine, the absolute worst thing they can possibly imagine, is being wrong and being proved wrong and being shown wrong. That's it. I mean, and you can really see in society that's their number one fear. Yeah, let's see how they deal with food and fuel shortages, which are gonna get crazy daisy. But that right now, that's their biggest concern, being proved wrong. So we're getting a lot of articles like this, which is trying to say no, Jody Whittaker's era wasn't awful. Jody would, no, you would have to be a complete sexist, racist bigot to believe that, because Jody Whittaker era was a good one. No, it wasn't. It was awful, So anyway, I'm putting this video out on Saturday, hopefully. I'm planning on putting it on Saturday, because I got another video put out with this, which is an in-depth review of Jody episodes. I started basically at the beginning with Rosa, because that's the one, because you couldn't really tell with the first couple of episodes, but Rosa was the one that go, oh, so stunning, so brave. This is the one they always hold up. So I really looked at it in detail, and it was awful. I mean, just on a technical level, it's really awful. So I kept going. I did this, what was after that one? Arachnids in the UK, also awful. And I think, well, am I going to skip Sanunga Conundrum? Yeah, and I'm like, oh no, I'm glad it is. So that's probably going out on the same day as this. If you haven't seen it, it's really worth checking out. In fact, it's fascinating how bad it is. It really is, right? I mean, you look at, it's like when you stare at something, you go, really? How can, I mean, like, your brain can't conceive it. It's so bad. It's and I'm not saying on a, I'm not saying that's my, according to my taste. I'm saying on a technical level, it fails on the script level and on the performance level on many, many, many levels. So it's worth checking out. Fine. Like, share, subscribe. All those things are very, very good. Thank you very much. I'm very appreciative. Especially subscribe. YouTube are up to their old shenanigans again. They were leaving me alone for a bit. It was nice. I just got to go and, have a channel, and it was growing and it was nice. But no, No. I guess they're a bit. They also don't like being wrong because they also live on Twitter, so they have to silence voices they really don't like, really, which is what we see so much. Man, I saw this clip from Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart has this new show, The Problem, and he did The Problem with white people, right? And you had one panelist on there who, was not right wing in any way, shape, or form. He was like I believe he's a gay activist, right? I hated Trump, hated Trump, and wrote many things about how much he hated Trump, right? But he wasn't able to get on board with the idea that America is the worst, most racist, terrible place in the entire universe, right? And so, absolutely, it's irredeemably bad. And there's this woman, I can't remember her name, who was saying, at first you say, we have to start talking about this. We got to start talking about it. And the minute they started bloody talking about it, saying, well, listen, I don't accept your premise. She was like, oh, this is why I don't talk to white men. We live in crazy times. People don't like having egg on their face. So the people who work in the media, run social media, most of the people in politics, be they Democrat or Republican, but more on the lefty side, I think, they're basically all of one mind. And they're a reasonably small mind. So anyway, they have egg all over their face, right? They have egg all over their face on so many bloody levels. Including YouTube. So anyway, so my point is this: like, share, subscribe. Finally got to it. Finally got the point. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Absolutely, let me know what you think. If you're on Rumble, hit the Rumble button. If you're on listen, even if you're not on Rumble, go to Rumble and subscribe to me on Rumble. Okay, just do that. It'll make your life better. Maybe it won't, but give it a try. What will make your life better is signing up my Substack, which is freaking awesome. Absolutely freaking awesome. Again, I'm recording this on Wednesday, right? Wednesday. I hoped yesterday I was going to put some time into doing some artwork. I got this really cool ideas for digital art. I'm really turned on by it. The day was just ran away from me yesterday, so I'm hoping today. Today is the day. Like, I'm being super responsible by recording this video earlier, but I'm hoping today is the day. So hopefully by the time this video goes out, I'll be putting out this digital art for all my subscribers on my Substack, and I want to make that a regular feature, right? Very genre-tastic digital art, and I'll do, I guess, nicer stuff for the paid one. The paid Substack is it's basically my Patreon, right? It's basically that a little way to, I'll say, earn a crust, but it's not really much of a crust. If you want to support me there, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. We covered everything. I feel covered. Let's look at this article. People who are clearly covered with egg. The ending of Doctor Who Season 12 explained. Okay, this article came out April 4th, 2022. Yeah. A little bit late at the bat there, are you? Like, really? When do you go for the end of season 13 explained, right? Because I still don't understand what happened. It seemed to be most of the universe was destroyed, right? And then it was all fine. That's called bad writing, right? Didn't it seem like most of the universe was destroyed? The flux is coming. I always wondered what it'll feel like. What is it, Jody? What do you always wonder that feel like? The end of the universe. God, it was so bad. But it wasn't the end of the universe. So next time you saw the flux, it was just like munching buildings and stuff. I don't know. It made no sense, right? Made no sense. And it's amazing how little sense it doesn't make, right? How much sense it doesn't make. Actually, is that double? How much sense it doesn't make. It's amazing. It's a lot. It's a large amount of sense it does not make. But no, let's go to season 12. We forgot how little sense that makes as well. Doctor Who has turned the old, the more things change, the more they stay the same adage into an art form. Honestly, I'm reading about Doctor Who season 17. I'm seeing like this video footage of Star Wars. I'm like, oh, that sounds, yeah. Doctor Who season 12. I'm like much more interested in Starlog. Oh man, I used to love Starlog. Fine, this is Billy D. Williams. Okay, this is totally distracting me. I'm going to try and get through this bit. so I can scroll away from it. Both classic and modern runs of the sci-fi show are constantly tweaked with cast themes and approach. But by and large, the overarching theme of a reincarnating Time Lord using their wits to battle evil has remained constant. Well, listen, look. If you're not looking at the screen, check out. Yeah. That's the wits we're using over there. Like, really, this one. Yeah, really. Maybe that's one reason it's somewhat failed. Fine, I'm getting rid of. Oh, now it's got the Hobbit. I'm getting rid of that. Now we're over it. Fine. Well, up to the show's season 12, that is. Again. Why change? I mean, this is such a Hollywood thing to do, isn't it? Why change something like completely, like absolutely completely from what it was? I mean, have you seen Star Trek Discovery? Like, what has that got to do with Star Trek? Have you seen Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who? What's it got to do with Doctor Who? Star Wars really blows my mind, right? Because Disney bought it because they knew they didn't have bought Star Wars, and they bought Marvel because they know they didn't have any male brands, right? And they wanted to expand to have male brands. And the first thing they did was, you know what? If we get these male brands and we make them for girls, right? This is what we're going to do. We're going to make them for girls. Then the boys will still buy them because, everyone wants Star Wars, everyone wants Marvel, right? Boys will still buy them, but then girls will buy them too. Oh, see, this is what you have when you have overeducated idiots with way too much power, right? Because there's idiotic worldviews are never, ever challenged. And then, you see them go into practice. And I think that's what the Biden presidency has been, right? You see them, these idiotic ideas go into practice, and we get Afghanistan, we get war in Europe, we get huge inflation. We get the immigration crisis. There's going to be 7 million undocumented residents. I mean, really? Illegal alien, right? It's like calling a crack dealer an unregistered pharmacist. No. It's like, no. There's been a massive explosion in child pornography. Really? And Disney, and they're all into it. They're all like, oh, yes. Oh, you got to have the secret conversations with me, your teacher, about being sexually abnormal, which is basically what it is. By abnormal, I mean that you're not of the norm. Right, there's no pejorative there, right? If you're somebody of a smaller demographic, which I guess I am, right? I'm of a smaller demographic. I'm like, Bible thumping religious Jewish, but also like I got married when I was 24. I've been with my wife since. I've never. It's somewhat uncommon in today's day and age. Maybe I'm a minority. I don't bloody know, right? I don't bloody know. We just have these minority voices running freaking everything, and with absolute disaster. Okay, case in point, Doctor Who, right? Piers Wenger, and the higher ups at the BBC, overeducated idiots who never had their ideas challenged, and when they were put into practice, disaster. Right? How many times have we seen that story play out? We saw it with Star Wars again. We saw Disney all over the place, and Disney's like, oh, more grooming, please, more grooming. That'd be fantastic. Fine. So they wanted to change everything, right? They wanted to change everything. One final aside, there's a great interview with Rob Grant and Doug Naylor. I think maybe just Rob Grant, the people who did Red Wolf. I thought that was coming back. Where is it? I like Back to Earth. Not Back to Earth. I didn't like Back to Earth. I liked the cat one. That was really fun. I liked that one. But yeah, they said they had this conversation many times when they would take it out to expensive dinners by American TV executives to talk about buying Red Dwarf and doing an American version, and they would always the same. Like they would say, well, the cat's a great character. Does he need to be a cat? Can he just be a funky person? Basically, what means we've got to change the teeth. That's it. And it's like, well, if you want, okay, I'll get you paying for it. And it doesn't need to be on a spaceship. Like, can it be on? Like, what's the point? And they're like, when you're changing the premise, what's the point of? I don't understand. Actually, for that matter, I don't really understand the idea of buying a business from somebody either, right? Either Make your own or don't, right? That's it. I don't understand. Like, invariably, if somebody builds up a business and a putz buys it, the business folds. Invariably, I've seen it over and over again. So have you. Build your own bloody business. That's probably a good idea. Once the show's my hopes of getting in under half an hour. They're shrinking. Well, up to the show's series 12, that is, from the familiar villains to the strange places and the neat run-ins with historical figures, none of that happened, right? No. Familiar villains, yes. Strange places, I guess so. Neat run-ins with historical figures, no, it was boring. Showrunner Chris Chibnall's second season at the Doctor Who helm features many elements that are familiar to longtime fans of the show. Have you seen Star Trek Picard? There's many elements in that who are familiar to longtime fans of Star Trek. I just watched episode 5, and they name checked Gary 7, which was a backdoor pilot in the original series. That wasn't very good. Yeah, I kind of liked it. I kind of wish they made a show of that. Essentially, it was a space James Bond with Terry Garr as his plucky girl companion, right? I quite liked it. But there's like a deep cut. That's a deep. But what's it got to do with the characters and everything you loved about? Because nothing, absolutely nothing. Putting familiar things in doesn't counterbalance going against the absolute nature of the show. The burning heart of the show, which in Doctor Who's case is being a non-conformist, an anti-authoritarian authority, right? That it's that juxtaposition. It's those two things pulling in different directions that is replete throughout his character, right? And that juxtaposition is Doctor Who, right? He's very, he's very egalitarian, but he wants to be in charge. He's not sexist, but can you make some tea there, Polly? It's like, honestly, if I was a doctor, I would hang out more in the 60s just so I can get a cup of tea made without somebody scouring at me. Would that be awesome? Yeah. Okay. I would go to the late 60s, early 70s, just because I'd like a cup of tea made, right? All right, without being spat at. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, listen, I get it. The world was more sexist back then. 100% more sexist back then. But I'm a man. So for me, it worked out. Where are we up to? Okay. Many long-time fans of the show. However, it becomes evident that the stakes are even higher than usual. I mean, we have the end of the universe many times. The season ended up with a typical out-the-blue setup. Typical? Out the blue setup for an incoming special episode. This time, the 13th Doctor is unexpectedly incarcerated in by a Judoon patrol. I see what you're saying. He's saying it's analogous to at the end of most Tenet seasons, you'll get a what scene. You'll get that quite often. I think. What's the one? At the end of what's it? Not what was that one again? Where you had it with the Daleks and Davros was in it at the end of time, was it? No, that was his last one. With the reality bomb. Anyway, so that at the end of that, you were supposed to see some Cybermen appear, but they thought, that's a bit weird. We filled that chock full of things. We won't put it on a cliffhanger. However, before the cliffhanger, she discovered that things seemed destined to turn her life and some of her basic tenets of the show upside down. Possibly for good, possibly not for good as well. Possibly for ill. No, I firmly believe this is half human on my mother's side, right? This is that big retconning pen is about to be put right the way through this. And I think, yes, I understand. Russell E. Davies is woke as hell. Yes, he is. Absolutely. Always has been alive. He likes money. He likes success. He really likes success, right? And that's kind of, something I like about Russell E. Davies is his character flaws, which I think is what you like about most people. You find their character flaws, endearing, and I do find that somewhat endearing about Rusty Davis, that he likes to win, like he likes to be successful, he likes that, right? So I think he's going to be loud, woke, right? And we saw that a couple of months ago. Was at a LGBTQ plus dinner, and he was like saying, "Oh no, the T people are super important." Super duper, doubly super important. We need the T people. We got the LGBTQ alliance. We got to be allies, baby. And we're all like, oh dear, really? Oh dear. I think he's saying that. So when he does cast Hugh Grant or whoever, some white man, probably a man. Maybe black. Honestly, I don't know. I don't like this constant focus on skin color. It's like it's so the constant one-sided view of skin color as well. It's really, really disgusting. On that Jon Stewart clip, the angry white woman. It was basically who she was saying, if white men wanted to do anything about the systemic racism, they had 400 years. They could have done it. Darling, what's the skin color of the people who abolished slavery? What skin color was that? Actually, and if we're talking about everything with skin color, did people who had a black skin color, a darker skin tone, did they also have slaves? I think they might have done. Ooh, I think that. But again, it's a one-sided look at history to make yourself feel good about yourself, which is very much in the Jody Whittaker template. Again, is this turned over? I don't think so. I think it's done very badly. I think Rusty Davis is reasonably pissed off, and I think there's going to be nothing connecting this era to anything else. And if they're going multiverse, which I'm sure they're going to do, I think that might be a way to write all this out. And here's the thing. I think Rusty Davis is going to write it out with half a line, right? Without even blinking. And you just move straight on. And he'll do it. And he'll do it in a way that most of the crazed Jodie fans will be like, well, okay then. They're about to get really mad, by the way, because I picked up reading between the lines with the Mandip Gill interview that Thasmin, I should say, Thasmin will not be consummated, right? She was like, oh, it's not going to be answered, not the way that you'd like, maybe some of you would like. So I don't think it's going to be consummated, especially in Legend of the Sea Devils. I do think, however, that Jody Whittaker is going to have to kiss Yaz to save her in some way. The rumors take a weeping angel out of her eye. Yeah, much in the same way that Eccleston kissed Rose before she regenerated. And that will be the final kiss, right? So she's going to get turned down here, and they're going to get so much anger from the crazy crowd. But that's what. But I think that's basically how it's going to go down. However, there are normal people who just don't want to hate this era, right? There are people who just love Doctor. I see it much more with Star Trek, actually. There are people who just love Star Trek and they don't want to say that this unwatchable Star Trek isn't Star Trek. There's the normie fan. So I reckon Rusty Davis is going to retcon this away with half a line in a way that it will still keep most of the people. That they that watched it during this. It won't alienate people. That's what I'm looking at. Alienate. Take a look at the ending of season 12 of Doctor Who and what it might mean for the show. Again, where are you? Doctor's identity crisis. Well, again, I can understand why she doesn't feel like the Doctor. She certainly doesn't act like the Doctor, and maybe it's because Jodie Whittaker isn't that great at the acting, right? Maybe she's not the absolute best at the acting. The biggest takeaway from the ending of Doctor Who season 12 is the Doctor isn't who you thought her to be. What? She's a useless moron conformist. Yeah, right. I noticed that back by Rosa. Up to this episode, and I feel bad it took me that long. Actually, honestly, I didn't accept it right up until I don't know. Witchfinders. I took me a long time. It took me a long time. So I understand why there's still people out there who took a long time to accept it. You saw the same with Game of Thrones. I was the same with Game of Thrones. I was holding out it was going to be good until that last episode. I was like, oh. Oh, the penultimate episode. That was also pretty bad. Up to this episode, regardless of regeneration, the whole point of the character has been the whole point of the character has been that they're a rogue member of the Time Lord race who wanders the universe in various eras in a stolen TARDIS vessel, fighting evil and injustice every step of the way. Yay! And now, Rusty Davis actually had a much better definition. It was it was a doctor and a friend. It was about that relationship with the doctor and the companion and them having great adventures in time and space. That's all in the past now. Also the future, I think. Also the future. And do you remember the rumor that Chris Chibnall walked off the production? And the rumor was that somebody higher up at the BBC saw what they were doing and said, "This is garbage. This is going to destroy the show. This is going to destroy the property." And that person was proved right, of course. They were probably fired. Pete McTeague was supposed to fill in for a little bit, and then Chibnall came back because they couldn't get anybody else, and because he was unquestionably powerful at that time, everything went through exactly the way he wanted it to. How'd that work out for you, mate? Thank God he's only in charge of Doctor Who. Thank God he wasn't Joe Biden. Right? Can you imagine if Chris Chibnall for president? Oh dear. The Doctor is actually a mysteriously timeless child from an unknown reality. I think the unknown reality is shit. They've been around for an unspecified yet truly impressive amount of time, and they're actually the very source of the Time Lord's classic 12 regeneration power, which, what's more, the Doctor used to be affiliated with some sort of Time Lord Black Ops squad called the Division. I hate the Division, right? I really hate the Division. Why couldn't it have been the CIA? Because the Division sounds somewhat more contemporary, which implies a darker past than you'd expect from this pacifist hero. All of this, I think the comic book of Origins comes out this month. I am so reviewing that and taking the piss out of it. That's so happening. All this means that Doctor lived through a whole bunch more lives than the ones depicted on the show, including season 12 newcomer Ruth, Dr. Martin, Joe Martin, and Mrs. Doctor introduced in Fugitive of the Judoon. Yes, it was shit, right? And again, another piece of awful script writing, right? You have two doctors, nobody knows who they are, where they come from, and they just say, "Oh, bye then, we're not going to work it out, Tara, love." That's that good old Vinay Patel writing for you. You can always rely on that to be mindless shit, can't you? Making the Doctor far, far older than previously assumed, and even more shockingly, not a Time Lord at all, effectively changing the whole bloody show. Again, I like Doctor Who. I don't like this shit. I really don't. Effectively upends decades of lore. It's a pretty bold creative choice from a moron from Chibnall. And again, the hilarious thing is, his quote is, "Don't you think it's been a bit done before? Don't you think it's a bit predictable? Don't you think, mate? Don't you think?" I'm just gutted that JNT and Pip and Jane Baker are not here. Oh, would I enjoy that? And remains to be seen whether will adhere to this drastic change in the Doctor's background and nature. No! Okay? No! Judging by the fact the final episode, The Timeless Children, is the worst Doctor Who finale, according to IMDb fans, certainly don't seem to appreciate the change. You think? Really? All these new creatives are creatively bankrupt, and they're living on the back of much more talented people who have made time. It's the same thing as buying a business, right? I said, well, why would anybody buy a business? You could just make it yourself. I don't know. Like, oh, what, that guy's got a successful bun cell dealership. Maybe I just open my own bun sailing dealership. I like bum vendoring. Bum vendoring? Bun, not bum vendoring. That's... I guess that sounds like kind of like some kind of automated gay brothel. Bum vendors. It markets itself. Come to bum vendors and with your convenient choice of bottoms for your pleasure. But what does the bottom client want then? I guess be another side of the building. Okay, this is just more interesting than talking about Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who. The Master is the most masterful. No, him leaving a go. That's not masterful. That's not Machiavellian. That's just like bonkers bloke. I don't know what to tell you. The Doctor ultimately takes the whole time this child reveal surprisingly well. Well, she doesn't, but okay. But the same can't be said about the Master. Like the Doctor, the power-hungry antagonist has had many incarnations in the show, and they've been wildly different. No, they haven't. Excuse me. There's a very, very clear through line between Delgado, Ainley. I guess you could say. Who's he got? What's the name of that guy? It does them on Big Finish quite a lot now. Ainley, John Sim, Eric Roberts. There's a very distinct through line through all of them. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Yeah, they're all wildly different. One's been, the least competent one has been the John Sim one, right? The absolute least competent one. The most competent one has been the Derek Jacobi one, right? What's his name again? He used to be married to Caroline John. Okay, this one right here. Yes, no. I like how, I like how they made these action figures different. You got Jeffrey Beavers. There you go. You got the Jeffrey Beavers Master right there. With the mask didn't really work very well because it was actually made by whatever his name was. Where the mask was much scarier. You get back up there. Okay, the Carnival of Masters goes back on my shelves. Where are we? Power Hungry. But they all have one thing in common. They all have a pathological need to one-up the Doctor, who foils them at every turn. No, not really, no. As such, the villain doesn't exactly love the news of Doctors on the level that's officially far beyond his reach. Worse still, the Timeless Child reveal means that Master himself is basically just piggybacking on the Doctor's innate far superior powers. Much like Chris Chibnall is piggybacking on Terence Dix's far more superior powers, right? Far more superior. Despite the considerable gut punch, the attention-grabbing villain would no doubt be delighted to realise a few Doctor Who seasons have devoted more attention to the Master than this one. A few Doctor Who seasons have devoted more attention to the Master than this one. Well, this season, what was it? Season 8? Is it season 8? The one where yeah. Wait. No, season 8, because season 7 would be the Caroline John season. So season 8 is when they introduced the Master, and every episode, right, was about him. And season 9 as well, I think, every story. He's season 19. You had he was all the way through it. I didn't. Yeah, this makes perfect sense. Somebody explained to me the Adric in the tied to that weird, whatever it was, webbing thing. Big gay fantasy, right? Big gay masturbatory fantasy, which I think Adric basically was. Adric was John Nathan Turner's masturbatory fantasy. God bless him, mate. God bless him. Especially watch those early ones, okay? Really, it is. Whereas Nicola Bryant was my masturbatory fantasy. So there you go. You covered all the bases there, JNT. I like that about you. I like that. Not quite as covered as Adric was, though. Somebody give that poor boy a towel. He's effectively the main character in a large portion of the Timeless Children. And even before that, the season, he delivers a truly quintessential Master storyline. No, he doesn't. He's jumping up and down. It's like, no. He hides behind a disguise. I don't remember. Oh yeah, it's not really much of a disguise. He doesn't like take a John Sinmaster in World Enough and Time. That was a disguise, right? That one where we want him to whip off the mask, right? That's what we want. Like for fashion. He hides behind a disguise, reveals himself in a delightfully dramatic fashion, and has a complex plot that plays out over the course of the season. Yeah, he has more of a story arc than Whittaker's Doctor, but then again, such a one has more acting ability than Jodie Whittaker, right? His cruel actions against the Gallifreyans would make Harold Saxon version of the character John Sim proud. It never really explained, is it? Right? Never really like how or why. Isn't really explained. And by taking control of the Cyberman AI Cyberium and creating an army of Time Lord Cybermen, he unveils what could be his most dangerous plan yet. Okay, this is why I'm out of step with the rest of the world. I like the Master Cybermen team up and the Cyber Masters or the Cyber Lords. I thought that was an interesting idea. I would have loved to have seen it realized with Capaldi, right? I think it would have been much better. I never understood, and I've watched it more than once trying to work it out, why Capaldi's season finale really didn't work. Was it Hard Rain, Dark Water, whatever? It should have been awesome, right? It should have been awesome. You had this rain, this Cybermen creating rain, going into graves, so you had Cybermen climbing out of graves. It should have been terrifying. It just didn't work, did it? It's weird, that. Absolutely weird. But that was a bonkers master's plan, to turn humanity in a cyber army to give to the Doctor, because she kind of likes him. I like that whole tension between Missy and Capaldi. I thought that was really good, right? His core action makes Sam proud. And by taking but most dangerous plan yet. Considering that he quite likely managed to survive the destruction of Gallifrey, and the Timeless Child situation gives him more reason to hate the Doctor than ever. It'll be truly fascinating to see what the boss does next. Well, I guess I reckon he's going to be in the cliffhanger. I think we're going to get some kind of tacked on cliffhanger for Legend of the Sea Devils, which will have the Master in it, right? I mean, do you remember the somewhat unsubtle hint the Master's going back? Oh, beware, Doctor of whatever it is, and their Master. Right, really? It's like, this is what happens when you have dumb people write smart shows. You get shit. A memory revealed. Okay, so this Brendan crap, I am gonna be convinced about this my entire life, until I'm proved conclusively wrong. That the reason they had this whole Brendan storyline, because they knew how badly the ratings were, and they wanted to boost the ratings, so they wanted to set something that looked like Call the Midwife, right? Call the Midwife is the far more successful show that follows Doctor Who. They want to do something that looked like Call the Midwife, so they figured if somebody was channel surfing and they turn on one of the Brendan sequences, they'll think, oh, it's Call the Midwife. Let me just watch and try and work out what's going on, right? And then, because it'll be so awesome, he thought, because it'll be so absolutely fantastic, people would just stay and watch. Lowest rated episode ever until the next one. Due to its highly Gallifrey-centric nature, the biggest beats of the season ending are more or less sidelined many characters who aren't explicitly affiliated with the Time Lords. I know more because Chris Chibnall's a terrible writer. While the Doctor's companion and guest characters have meaty side plot aboard the cyber carrier, their plotline is already cut pretty short. It's pretty cut and dry. Adventures on Spaceship Fair. Apart from Ko Shamus in Matt L. Hinnany, man, do I feel so sad for that guy. He seems like a real actor, a real intelligent person, like as once had real thought and pathos, and to his character, and he keeps getting employed by morons, right? He's on Game of Thrones, had a great character on Game of Thrones, and then they killed him off because, why? Because Dan and Dave were doing coke. That's essentially why. And then it was on Krypton, which, oh god, I just I felt bad for him in that outfit. And now he's co-Sharmas. Okay, whatever. Who makes Fernando's biggest heroic sacrifice? What, the one that Jody Whittaker was going to do? And I can't wait to get to when I review this. Just to remind you, Jody Whittaker stood around and let everybody go, "Oh, Doctor, you're the bestest ever. You're going to sacrifice yourself to save everything. Oh, Doctor, you're so wonderful." And then just, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am. Oh, I'm going to miss you, yes, most of all." Oh, yes, it's like, oh, okay. And then she bumps into Koshama, and he's like, "Yeah, okay, can you do it?" Instead, "Fine, I'm going to bugger off." And then she's called by the dude and can't escape because she is shit. Okay, she's the worst person ever to play this role. Just so miscast. The dangerous semi-sideman Ashdad, who was pretty darn good. Patrick O'Kane also sees the threat level go down the drain. At the end of the day, the creepy villain only serves as a means to deliver the death particle on Siberia to Gallifrey. Yes, nothing's a character. Everything is a cog in the storytelling mechanism, right? Nothing is a character. And I found his character damn interesting, actually, and I love the design of it, right? What a waste. What an absolute waste. The Master swiftly deals with him, which in all fairness is pretty much on par for the course of villains that coexist in a Doctor Who episode with a devious Time Lord. Fair. Okay, fair. However, one bit character from the penultimate does get an interesting conclusion in the final. The Irish abandoned child Brendan, Evan McGabe, who we have no idea what it really was. Like, it hasn't been. It's been more explicitly explained what the Morbius Doctors were, and it hasn't been. Right. So the Irish abandoned child who becomes guard officer escapes fatal injury unharmed, and ultimately has his memory wiped by those he trusted. He doesn't actually exist. Instead, his tale turns out to be a corrupted memory shorthand from the Doctor's own experience before the mysterious division did a similar mind wipe on her. Was actually that mind wipe, wasn't it? Oh no, she had another mind wipe. But who cares, okay? It was crap. Him and the Doctor's life before the first incarnation with a seemingly unrelated story to this interesting concept. Yeah, no, there's thousands of years, right? Thousands of years of pre-Hartnell Doctors, right? Yeah, it's coming, baby. Don't be shocked when it happens. It is going to come. You know, I'm normally a lot happier when I say it's going to come. Yeah, I normally am. Not today. I don't really say. I don't really announce that. I think my loud, unrestrained groans of pleasure normally give it away, right? You know, and it's not like I'm a quiet guy. I have to tell you, even at the best of times. Anything is better than talking about this Doctor Who. Really, anything is better. Yeah, great member of the Doctor with a seemingly unrelated story like this is an interesting concept which may be something the show future could explore in the future. No, it's forgotten forever. Wouldn't it be cool to find out the Doctor's white memories with parables, say, Vikings or 1970s detective? No, it's a shit idea. It's a shit idea. The endingly sneakily explains an old Doctor Who mystery. No, it doesn't! Oh my God. I mean, like, this is the hill you're going to die on, right? Oh, yes, absolutely, yeah. Really? It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Dumb people are out, writing about how dumb people make Doctor Who. It's a weird, intensely increasing dumbness. Before the ending of Doctor Who season 12, it was believed the Doctor was only able to regenerate. The Doctor was only able to breach the Time Lord's 12 regeneration limit because he was Gallifreyan's gifted Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, a brand new 12 pack of lies in 2013's Time of the Doctor. No, they didn't know it was another 12. It was an unspecified amount. However, even before that, hence the Doctor could access more established amount of his energy. I mean, again, how does he remember all these things if his mind was right? And if Jodie would, and like, how, none of it makes sense because nothing matters. Because the only point is to say, oh, you know that white male character? Ew, white men bad. No, actually, they've all been black women, all of them. And then I don't know. He just in these 12 regenerations went for white men. Oh, white men are the worst. A brand new toy, blah, 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 time of the Doctor. However, even before that, they've been, okay, in fact, one particular story and show heavily implied that William Hartnell's first Doctor wasn't, well, the first Doctor. Yes, it happened in Jesus. Okay, we're nearly done. It happened back in 1976 in an episode called The Brain of Morbius. A story called The Brain of Morbius! The episode was called Part 4! Ah! Sorry. I digress. During the mental duel with the Doctor, the mind-bending, the consciousness of the Morbius Doctor, voiced by Michael Spice, 8 previously unseen faces appear in the context to make it seem like the former Time Lord reincarnations. Yeah, it was meant to add... Again, this show was 13 years old. It was... Is it... Yeah. The show is younger than it is now, with no history whatsoever. And they said, oh, let's do a little... Let's throw it in. Who cares? It's a bit of fun. What? In no way did this, like, mint canon, right? No way, in no way, shape, or form did this become, oh no, totally canon, 100%. The best explanation is in the discontinuity guide. They are fake regenerations conjured by the Fourth Doctor to win the mind-bending tournament. Then it all makes sense, doesn't it? The soap producer design confirmed this was indeed the correct interpretation by Radio Times. Yes, but again, it was adding flavour. It wasn't redefining. Oh, God. It's stupid. It's beyond me. Eagle-eyed viewers might note the Morbius Doctor briefly showed up. Really, everybody noted. Really, that's as subtle as everything else Jody Whittaker has done. Not at all. Not at all. British show amongst the 13th Doctor's many flashbacks. She breaks out the Matrix in the Time of Children. Another piece of stupidity. This, it seems, pretty much confirms that these 8 mystery faces are indeed the early incarnations, considering the questions of ending Doctor Who season 12, leaving viewers with it's nice that at least this old mystery is finally solved. No, it wasn't nice. That nice? No, it wasn't nice at all, and it wasn't solved. And you're an idiot. Okay, I think we can all agree with basically all of these facts. Really, it wasn't solved. Everything you said is wrong, and you're probably an idiot. Maybe you're smart. Maybe you're super smart, right? Maybe this guy who wrote this is super smart, and this is him pretending to be an idiot. Okay, I'm about 45, 48 minutes in. I guess it's not shorter. I guess it's not shorter. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack, all those things are awesome. Now have yourself a freaking awesome weekend.